Hey my loves, it's your girl E back in another video, and today in Big Mama's kitchen, me and my family wanted some beef pho, and this is my first time doing it. So if you want to see how I made me and my family beef pho, please stay and watch the entire video, okay? The entire video. Now, like I said, this is my first time trying to make this, so I did watch a couple of videos before I tried to attempt to make this. And I must say, my first time came out pretty fucking good. Um, I took me a big beef chuck roast and I cut it in pieces and I tried to remove as much fat as possible. And I seasoned it to my likings. You can season your meat however you like to season your meat. And once I did that, I put a little oil in my pot so I can sear my meat on both sides before I pour my meat into my juice, well, my water with all my seasonings and everything. So that's what you see me doing right now. Placing my meat in so I can sear on both sides. So as I did that, I got my water ready for my meat to be boiled, and I used this beef bouillon powder seasoning, and then I also use this better than bouillon roasted beef seasoning, which is it's really good. It's like you really don't need that powder beef stuff. But I used it anyway just in case I didn't like the taste of this new better than bouillon. But yeah, it's really good. It's thick as hell, but it's good. You don't need much, and it's very, very, very flavorful. As you can see, it got the watercolor looking very good. I didn't need the seasoning or anything. I just used that beef bouillon powder, and I used the beef better than bouillon sauce. So you see me taking my meat and dropping them in the water one by one. Please place this in there very gentle because you don't want to splash that water up in on you or on your stove because it give you more things to clean. And I'm a type of person that cook as I clean, well, clean as I cook. So yeah, I hate being messy in the kitchen. Also, I took me a whole onion and a whole um, what the fuck is that? Ginger, and I cut it in half and I sauteed them on both sides because I heard that when you saute your ginger and your onion and then you place it in your water with your meat, it makes your flavors of your food taste even better. Like it brings out the flavor in your chuck roast and everything that you're cooking. So I did add my carrots to this pot as well because I wanted carrots in my beef pho. And I also used the celery stalk as well. And then I dropped them onions and I dropped that ginger in there. So I heard when you use celery stalk, carrot, onions, and ginger, it brings out the flavor in any meat that you're cooking, whether it's chicken, whether it's like lamb chops that you guys like to eat, whatever it is, that ginger, that celery stalk, and that onion is gonna help that flavor pop. So that's what I did right there. And then I also put in a couple pieces of cilantro because I heard that brings out the flavor as well. So that's what you see me doing right now. And I'm gonna let that boil real good. And in the process of that being boiled, I had some little thin strip steaks that I also sauteed on both sides. Now, normally they would sit that in this juice and let it cook on its own, but I didn't want to do that. So I have cooked it so that way when you do put it in your hot broth, it can cook more. I also cut up my cilantro, my onion, my hot peppers, and everything that you put inside of your pho. I cut that out. I cut that on the side as my meat was boiling and getting tender and ready for me to shred it down. You feel me? So that's what I'm doing right now, checking my meat to see just how tender it is. And it wasn't to my liking, so I let it boil a little bit longer. And then in the process, I got my water ready for my noodles. Normally you use rice noodles, but that was gonna take like 3 days to come in a mail, well, through delivery. So I just went ahead and used me some thin angel hair pasta. And I did the same process with this broth. I used the beef bouillon seasoning and I used the better than beef bouillon paste. And then once my water came to a boil, I dropped my angel hair noodles in. And with the angel hair noodles, you do not need to leave it in long. I say a good 5 minutes, maybe three at the most, that these noodles are going to be done. And then again, like I said, you don't want your noodles completely done because you're going to use that hot broth and pour that over your noodles and your meat and your toppings to create your beef pho. So you want to kind of leave your pasta a little like 60% done. And then once you remove your angel hairs from your pot, you want to take the remaining celery stalk, ginger, and onion, and you want to place that up inside of that broth so that it can get flavored as well. So in the process, you want to continue so that that meat cooks some. And then that's when I went on ahead and just shredded my meat down. And then I took my other steaks that I cooked and I placed that in the broth as well so they can get some of that flavor. And then so the steak won't dry out. As you can see, I'm showing you the meat that I broke up and how did it break up and everything. And so you just want to let that simmer for a while before you start to like assemble your bowl. So I always like to scrape the side of my pots because that's where all that good flavor and gunk and all that stuff be at. So sometimes I remove it if it look like that, but if it's like juicy and all that little seasoning, I put it back in the pot. Right here, you see me breaking down my angel hairs. I put a little oil in it so it won't get too stuck together as it wait for us to assemble our bowls. So right here, I'm fixing my dead bowl. I started off with the noodles. Then I put me a couple of pieces of the carrots, and then some of the pot roast in there, and then I'm gonna put some of the steak meat as well up in there. And so this is just how I assembled his bowl. I did not use all the hot chili oils and all of the good stuff that you put into your bowl because my dad does not like hot anything. So I had to make his pretty simple. So again, I'm placing all of his meats and carrots and his steak in his bowl. And plus I know just how much my dad will eat. You know what I'm saying? So once I did that, I started to add my juice or add his juice to his bowl. So y'all know how they do it. They you know what I'm saying, put the juice in after they assemble their noodles and their meat on top. So I had to change my cup so I can get more juice than what I was getting. So once I did all of that, then I went on ahead and I added my little extras and stuff like that. So I put like my cilantro on top, my onions, um I didn't put any hot peppers on his because, like I said, my dad doesn't like his pho hot. Um, you want to put a lot of juice because you want to be able to taste the broth along with your noodles, and then plus you don't want your noodles to be dry. So make sure you using a lot of juice. Even when you cook your water is gonna cook down. So you make sure you just continue to add water to your meat as it cooks. Right now, like I said, I added his cilantro, and then I think I added a little onion. Yeah, scallions. And then I added some of this fish sauce. Not too much, but I heard that it was good in your pho as well. So I used some of this fish sauce, and then I used some of this hoisin sauce. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If not, look it up. Y'all can figure out how to pronounce it. But yeah, I put a little of that. And that completed his bowl. He doesn't want all that hot stuff in there, nothing like that. And of course, my kids had them a bowl of pho. They was looking at it like noodles, but then when they really tasted it, they like, oh, okay, okay. So, and I was shocked to see my niece liked it as well. So that's a plus. I let them enjoy their bowl, and then I worked on my bowl. And of course, y'all know I put my little chili oils and my hot peppers, and I loaded my ass down, baby. So that's how that was. I put my sriracha on there, and it was a 10 out of 10, baby. I didn't even have to go to no restaurant. But I thank y'all for tuning in, and until next video.